What's happening, Reds? It's Jamie Webster here. Just wanted to say, subscribe below. Thank you very much.
Hiya and welcome to the Liverpool Connection podcast, PubChat. We are finally back in the pub where we feel more comfortable, where we can vibe off of each other, have a bit of a laugh, and then we can cry together after that United loss. Hits home pretty hard. Not happy. We'll talk about it. And I am Dazza, Julian, Steve, Glenn. Please subscribe, like, all that good stuff. But yeah, we're here to talk about the United loss, and we'll kick it off with team selection. So again, everybody's thoughts on that. I mean, I knew I expected Keita to start with Henderson and Fabinho. That was thrown out the window. Still really don't know what's going on with Keita, whether it's an injury or something else, that obviously he wasn't even on the bench. But starting Milner, I mean, lads, we're Liverpool Football Club, Milner should not be starting in my book.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to have a mental breakdown. I think, thankfully, this wasn't on 10 minutes ago because I was about to have a mental breakdown. It's fucking going to be hard, this, isn't it? If anyone's got children, then make sure they are not in reach of this, because there's going to be quite a few bad words, I think, coming out of my mouth. So I apologise.
Just put your hands over the kids' ears, please.
The thing is, like last year when we played against these, we started a midfield of Milner, Henderson, and obviously Fabinho played. I think it was Keita, wasn't it? It was them two and Keita, sorry. So it wasn't like the most crazy things. Harvey was the one for me that I was a bit like, I wasn't sure whether Harvey was going to play. But when you actually look at the bench and you look about what actually we could have done differently, I don't really know there is much we could have done here. There's not much we could have done differently, is there?
Well, Klopp came out and said that Fabinho not starting was a tactical decision, right? So my expectations were going to be Elliott, Henderson, Fabinho, and not Milner. But so I'm also interested in delving more from Klopp and hearing what he has to say. Why was that a tactical decision that Fabinho would not start?
Well, from what I'm hearing, he's going, we only have 5 fit midfielders. So he's basically just going, I've got to wrap these 5 in.
I just, you have Milner that can play across the 3 positions. So let him be on the bench, so then you can evaluate which position needs to be subbed in, and then he can come in, not as a starter.
I think we were all surprised that Milner started. We were all probably surprised that Fabinho didn't start. I would say if Fabinho was 100% fit, he would have started that game. There's no way that Klopp would have rested him to protect him for a massive game against Manchester United. And Milner played last week, and Milner has been fantastic for us, but he does not have the legs in midfield, especially when you play in midfield, Milner and Henderson. It's going to be tough, right? Especially with the start that we've had. And then you're asking Elliott, who's barely played, and you're asking a 19-year-old to do the legwork, and Elliott worked his socks off, don't get me wrong, but that team selection was surprising.
Yeah, I actually think
there's no way Fabinho wasn't 100%.
Yes,
there's no way.
It's a recurring thing, though, isn't it?
Right. But he said something very important. He talked about legs, right? Yeah. Which was interesting on how Manchester United then set up too, because Shaw was out, Maguire was out, Fred was out. So Ten Hag brought in younger legs. Ronaldo was out. So he brought in younger legs because he was so pissed at their lack of running the last game. And I think at the beginning of the game, it showed.
He made some bold decisions, the manager.
Hey,
Maguire, especially. That might be the last time you see Maguire consistently in a
just to go back, just to
He
want
won't
to
be
go.
captain.
I just want to go back a second for Fabinho because when I said before there wasn't that many different things you would have done. Fabinho being on the bench obviously was a massive surprise. But we said this last week. He has not looked right. He has not looked right. So whether he's like carrying a little knock or whatever, I don't know what it is, but him being on the bench, it wasn't necessarily the biggest of surprises just because of how he started the season and not being there. But for me, it wasn't necessarily the Milner one. It was more the fact of having Harvey play and not having actually Fabinho in there. It's like against them, like Harvey's brilliant. I absolutely love him. He's going to be such a good player. But for me, it was like I want lots of legs in there. I want lots of energy, and maybe I don't know what's going on with Kite, like we said before, but I think missing like a Kite in there and or Fabinho, it massively. It was massively frustrating. But even with that midfield, Liverpool were atrocious.
Let's be blunt here, right? It was fucking dreadful, right?
Yeah,
It was
absolutely atrocious.
I get, right, if you lose a game and you put the effort in, right? And it's against Manchester United. I won't like it, but I'll accept it because I've seen the intensity and the effort. But to see what we saw, especially first half, or you could even say up to 60 minutes, we were just like leggy, lethargic, lack of like passion all over, and I think it was summed up. You saw in the first half when Milner and Virgil had that little coming together.
Just
You
fucking
never
shit,
see that.
just shit on the ball. Do you know what it reminded me a little bit of? It reminded me a little bit of Villarreal away.
Yeah.
When we were like for 30 minutes, we were fucking shocking. We just couldn't keep the fucking ball. I'm screaming, just keep it, just knock it about, knock it back to the goalkeeper. You have to play it around, frustrating.
And it wasn't because they forced us to make bad passes. We just made bad passes. It wasn't. There were unforced errors, by tennis.
And the Manx, they came out, and we should have expected them to be like that. Like we should have expected Fulham to come out the way they did as well, right? And Crystal Palace. We should have been ready and thought, okay, the Man United are going to be up for this. They got thousands of fans attempting their shitty protest outside. They're going to be like up for this. And they were getting the tackles in immediately, and we were just so fucking slow.
What's happening the first 20 minutes? It's Fulham, Palace, United. The first 20, 30 minutes, we're not showing up.
That's what, 7 games, I believe it is, in a row since we've conceded the first goal.
Yeah.
There's obviously a problem, right? There's an issue that we have to solve. And that's not, yes, we need a midfielder. We know that. That's not the biggest issue. There's obviously there's more to it than
A midfielder is not just going to come in and solve.
No, but that's got having another midfielder today is absolutely nothing to do with it, has it? Like if we literally just keep the ball, and even if we're like the ball's going to Van Dijk and then he's just knocking it over their fullback and then just turning them back for the first 10-15 minutes, get the crowd quiet. Like, honestly, I think I seen a possession stat. I can't remember, it must have been maybe 20-25 minutes in, and it was near a 50-50 or something like that. Like when are Liverpool ever, unless they're playing Man City, when are Liverpool ever 50-50 with another football team, especially that Dross? Do you know what I mean? Like we just couldn't keep the fucking ball.
You spoke about Virgil, right? And he has not. First 2 games, he didn't look comfortable. He didn't look great. He looked slow. And today was essentially the pinnacle of 3 bad performances. I thought he was dreadful today. I really thought he struggled.
Just lethargic.
He was.
And you brought the point. I mean, it's with having the World Cup in November. Is this in the back of these players' minds?
It's fucking August.
What? No,
August.
We know that.
Maybe.
But is it in these players' minds just going, one,
it's
we want to get injured?
Well, especially Virgil, who's coming off a major injury, right? He just got back into the national team.
It's a fucking year ago.
It's hard though, right? I mean, Virgil
It's
is
been back a year.
a quality player. Seems like a fairly.
But it's not just that. If you are somebody that plays that position and are experienced at knowing where they should be, he made some dreadful decisions. His positioning was bad last week on that Palace goal. It was bad today on a couple chances that they had, stepping up into space and leaving Gomez isolated with 2 players. He did that more than one time. And so there's something else there just besides don't want to get hurt. It's the decision-making process.
That's bollocks. I mean, anything like that is bollocks about the World Cup thing. But there's not just Van Dijk here, is it? There's a few of them that are walking like Henderson, Trent, Salegi, very casual in his game. Henderson, same thing. Like it is genuinely quite worrying to see them. Like same thing with Fabinho. I don't know. Like I said the other day, is it a overtraining thing? Like how we're getting all these injuries and why we're looking so leggy? It's like we just played like 10 games in 30 days or something stupid, and it's April.
And we spoke about this, right? We spoke about and generally the majority seem to be muscle injuries, right? And it can't be a coincidence. Something which we spoke about obviously went wrong in pre-season because you don't get this many muscle injuries this soon after the season starts. So something happened. We don't know what that is. We probably never will. But the fact is, we look like a team that are a million miles off the pace of Manchester City at the moment, and Arsenal, right, and other sides. We look, and I'm not sure exactly what the fix is. Signing a new midfielder isn't necessarily the answer. That's not going to solve everything. But there's certainly a lot of work that needs to happen.
You know, their first goal really epitomized a lot of everything wrong with our team right now. Milner's the only one that even tried to attempt to block a shot. You watch other teams like a Leeds or a Brentford, if that ball's in the box, they're all flying.
What the fuck is Trent doing on that goal as well?
If you watch the replay, he's watching.
I watched the replay like
and he's
4
walking.
times.
He's walking towards the player that gets the ball. He's literally walking. And I want everybody else to go watch the replay. You will see him. Gomez goes and covers for him. The ball gets cut back, and Trent is just looking at the ball and is literally walking while the ball is in our penalty area. It's disgraceful.
Trent is a luxury player, right? He's a player that is
You gotta
outstanding going forward.
The ball is in our box. You got to be flying to the ball. Everybody. Van Dijk can't be standing there in front of the goalie obstructing his view with his hands behind his back. Go pressure the ball, man.
But it feels like Trent, and it's felt like it for a while, like whether it's gone to his head a little bit, I don't know, but we're seeing a player here that's definitely struggling. He's struggling in the back. He's never been a great defender, and he never will. He's a fine defender, right? But when you're under pressure and the midfield isn't playing well, he really struggles, especially if his passes aren't coming before he goes forward.
I also think, though, there's no competition for him. Ramsey was brought in, he's injured as well.
Yeah, Dan Dare signed him and he's got an injury already.
But there's never been a competition for Trent, and he's been unbelievable.
Yeah, but that was just one play though. If you watch him on the other attacks,
he
just walked. Gomez was chasing this guy, and Trent turned around and just stood there. Didn't even jog back to cover.
Yeah.
He just watched it.
I agree.
Multiple times, and that's dreadful. That is dreadful.
He was shit today.
Well, that's not being shit. That's being having a lack of intensity, which is different.
Well, hang on a minute.
You can be a shitty player, but at least try.
But you're right.
Even try.
You were right. When you have and it happens with any player. If you have no competition,
it's bollocks. It's bollocks,
right? It does.
It's
no,
bollocks.
If there's no competition, it's certainly
bollocks. He's had no competition for 4 years, and he's been the best batter I've ever
Yeah, but
just 1 second. Let me get my point in for a minute, right?
He's
so
struggling.
just 1 second. So one of the things that one of the best things about. I am not going to lie. When we played against Palace, he got absolute dog's abuse, right? And I thought, what he offers you in that type of game is totally different. But today, he was absolutely awful. However, one of the things that Trent has in this team, and one of the things that we basically give him, like the lad's rocking up in like fucking. Sometimes he's rocking up as like a number 10 in swinging, which I'm not sure about that. Like sometimes he rocks up in all sorts of positions.
Well, last season, right?
No. Yeah, but just 1 second though. So one of the key things about Trent is Fabinho as the 6 and Henderson next to him, and they cover a lot, and they do a lot of that donkey work to cover that space. The last 2 games, love Harvey Elliott, but if Harvey's going to play there, Trent does not have that same cover.
Yeah.
If now you've got Fabinho didn't play against Palace either, so he's not there, and Fabinho's nowhere near on form. So I feel like, was Trent poor today? Absolutely, he really was. But I would also say is that one of the best things about when Trent plays, Henderson is there and he is talking, he's right next to him, and then you've also got Fabinho doing that work for him. So this idea that it could be competition, I just find it's absolute bollocks.
I agree with what you said.
Never had competition.
Competition still, to me, makes a huge difference, and I think Trent does need a bit of competition. But you are right. Henderson last season, when Trent has been outstanding, brilliant, getting the space to make them like 60-yard passes or whatever. Henderson sits in on that side, right?
Yeah, but that has
and he connects well with Salah when they go down that side. We don't have that at the moment.
That has nothing to do with Trent giving the ball over, turning it over 24 times today. The highest by far among all field players.
But that's going to happen, and it's going to show up.
I bet you know.
In
If you,
games like
I tell you what,
he's a risk player.
I tell you what. If you look at, I bet you Trent gives the ball away a lot in our team because he is one of the probably our most creative player. So I bet you if you looked at that, it sounds awful, but I bet you if you looked at it, he's trying a lot of different passes and things like that.
I'm not talking about searching balls or, I'm talking about passes.
And today what pissed me off with him was he's trying to do fucking 40-yard dives all the time. And like, the amount of times that Liverpool just could have passed the fucking ball 5 yards, or even went back to the keeper, went back to the centre back. And when we did do that a couple of times, when we moved it across to the side of the pitch, I think it was Martinez. We moved it from the left right across over, and it got cut back. And I think it might have been Salah hit it, and it was a block, and it was a good move. Like there's a couple of times where when we actually moved it around, we actually looked alright with it. We just didn't do it enough.
Speaking of Martinez, the little man. Did alright today.
He's
got to be a class to be a little centre back. He's got to be a really good player.
No, there's just this weird thing about like
he did well.
He's not even that small to be honest.
He's not 5'9".
Yeah, he's not that small.
When he was standing next to the big.
Hey, but let's be honest. By the time they scored their goal, we could have been down 3-0.
They hit the post.
They had another chance, a clear-cut chance that they should have scored on.
Well, that woke us up a little bit when they hit the post. The Carvalho change, I felt could have come a little bit earlier. I think
let's go back though. Let's get to the second. Let's go sort of second half. So
no changes at halftime. Club made no changes.
Surprised then?
And we were all expecting. I was expecting Milner to come on at halftime, right?
I know, but like the way I watched that first half, Milner would have been yanked, and Fabinho would have been on again. If fucking Fabinho, like we talked about last week, if he's good for fucking 30 minutes, a player's good for 30 minutes with like Gomez, why can't he play for fucking 45?
So did that surprise you when it was Henderson that came off instead of Milner?
Yeah, it did.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Henderson is absolutely. So
he did have a good
game. Let me go back a minute because I actually thought the first five, like when we started the game, we had a little spell. We had like it wasn't great, but we had about 5-10 minute spell where we actually started creating little chances. We had I can't remember, there's one chance where we were getting down the sides a little bit. And we had a little bit of joy. I remember texting you and saying, this is much better. I mean, it's better. I mean, considering what we just watched. And then the Henderson, the mistake for the goal is atrocious. The miscontrol, there's not one even really near him. But there's no one even near him when he controls the ball.
You're talking about the second goal?
Yeah, the miscontrol is awful. But then, pull him down. This is 2 games in a row now. Just pull him down and take a booking. He wasn't on a booking. When Henderson controls it.
On the second goal.
When Henderson controls it, he controls it and he pretty much gives it to fucking. I don't know who it was now.
Van Dijk's slow on that.
He is
but on that, it was similar
down.
to the Fabinho where he should have stopped the play before the
Last week,
goal, right?
Just like a professional foul.
So, but Van Dijk once again slow on the thinking, where usually he'd cut that out. He wouldn't let that guy get that touch. But then Gomez, I kind of give him a little leeway because he hasn't played regularly. If he just stops, Rashford's offsides, right?
Yeah.
He just stops, and it's hard.
It's offside to me.
I mean.
The tolerance.
It's annoying that goal though.
It is
that goal is that goal is.
Tolerance rule, which apparently just started today in the Man United.
But watch again that play. Trent never even got past half field. He just stopped. He just didn't even.
Yeah, but we can't say that goal was on Trent.
No, I'm not saying it's on Trent.
No, but I mean, from like Henderson's point of view, that is that is really poor. But there's so many things from that point that you could just pull them down, take a foul. But before that, because we had a little period from, I'm sort of going a little bit back here, but we had a little period of like maybe 10 minutes before the half, we actually started to sort of move the ball around a little bit, and then the second half, it was the same sort of thing. So that goal was a big killer. It was a big killer. It was a really important time because we then really struggled. And
you're 2-0 down now,
Yeah.
and then you look at the bench.
That's the thing, isn't it?
There's just nothing. There's nothing there to make you go, all right, we can really get back in this game.
2 goalkeepers on the bench.
I mean, we have an attacking midfielder
and
that played
two lads
18
that
minutes.
barely make it in the championship.
You've got Sepp Vandenberg, who's
Phillips
on loan at
But you know,
Vandenberg, yeah. And then
that first 11
Clark.
that we put out today should have been there.
Yeah, 100%.
That is the issue that's plaguing us this season. Yes, of course, our bench is not good enough. We know that. We know we have issues in midfield. But that first 11, which wasn't too dissimilar to the 11 that beat them last season at Old Trafford. If the intensity was there, we should have won that game. But we didn't. We didn't show any of that. Which we allowed Manchester United to dominate. We allowed the crowd to get involved.
We don't.
Right? It's just. It was. You could see it from the first 5-10 minutes. Man United were up for it, and we were not there. Again, for the third game in a fucking row.
What was your thoughts on the front three?
I thought the front three worked hard, and I didn't think they were the issue. I thought it came from midfield. Diaz tried first half, right? He tried to create space. Firmino was dropping really deep, almost as a midfielder at times, but he was trying to make things happen. The effort, I saw the effort from the front three, and Salah was trying, and their left back, who made his debut, I think, did really well. So the front three, I can't criticise that much.
No,
because
I'm not going to criticise them, but the position of the front three, I felt like they were too wide. I felt like they could have been in field a little bit more. But like at
Firmino
times,
was way too deep, which was part
Firmino
of it. Milner was like...
Yeah, but if Firmino's going to come deep, then the other two have got to try and run inside, haven't they?
Salah was isolated.
He was isolated, but my thing is
That's why we
just
miss
move in,
Mane.
go inside. Yeah, but go
We miss
like
Mane.
if,
Nunes as well.
Well, it's hard to talk about. It's
No,
hard
hang
to
on a
do
minute,
that.
hang
We
on,
definitely
one
miss
second.
Mane.
1 second though. But I'm saying, like the amount of times when Salah would pick the ball, he picked the ball so wide. Like he wasn't like sort of, he wasn't like. There's times when I was thinking, just play a bit more central. Just go and play central. Even if the two of them play a little bit more central, and then we try and get the whip from the fullbacks a little bit more.
And that's what I said at the pub. At least change something up. Bring Salah, central. Let him play the number 9. Bring Elliott. Bring Elliott over there to the right because he likes to cut in anyway. And then just show something different. We didn't show anything different at all.
Maybe like a 4-2-3-1, and maybe put like Henderson and
that's why I thought Carvalho could have come in earlier and changed it. Because when he did come in, he changed it down.
It was
He
brilliant.
was pretty stubborn on that. Though,
I know, but
formation.
Well,
it's very rare that changes up. But it did when Carvalho came on.
You didn't have to change formation. You just changed the positions of the players.
You changed the shape, but it wasn't. And it stems again from the midfield and the lack of intensity. Right? As I go back to my point, that first 11, if they had shown the desire, the passion, they should have won that.
We're liking this.
Right?
Not yet. In a minute.
Intensity.
So,
we've lacked intensity.
Who's going to win that?
Yeah, I already decided it's in here.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We've lacked
later.
intensity since the book has come out.
Well, let me see that book.
It's not really helping, is it?
We'd like Chuck. I mean, obviously, terrible idea. A curse.
The winner's going to have, it's going to smell like beer, by the way.
And the winner's going to be cursed as well.
So he's going to lack some intensity at the house. His wife would be really mad.
Anyway, Glenn, you were saying.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Sorry, mate.
We've gone off.
The intensity book thing.
So, okay, let's talk about the positives, right?
Salah
okay,
scored.
let's move on.
Salah scored.
Salah scored. I thought Gomez did alright, honestly.
Elliott,
Gomez and Diaz for me.
Carvalho did well when he came on. Gomez, to me, did very well, considering he's
just another 90 minutes under his belt.
Yeah.
It's alright. Do you know what I mean?
There aren't too many positives
really
that you take away from a 2-1 loss to
Do you know what
those
I felt
bastards.
I actually felt like we sort of missed someone to like, and that's why I thought Carvalho was a really good induction, because I felt like we missed someone just to carry the ball and just beat 1 or 2 players.
Yeah.
I mean, like a
just go at
Kite, like a Kite, even a Matic, just to drive forward. Carvalho, someone to. I thought Harvey he didn't start the game very well, but do you know what I like about Harvey is that he wants the ball all the time. He's brave, and he'll try and make things
he's always
happen.
trying to turn.
And 19, that's a
And I thought that we went through long stretches in that second half with Diaz not even touching the ball. He's been our most dangerous player in that first half.
But
he's
again
today,
he's just running into a dead end.
Diaz, it's like this is what's concerned me.
Best
right,
player
with
was
Diaz.
Alisson.
And what the concern with Diaz is he's like a blockbuster player, right? That he does these amazing things at times, but his overall play, and hopefully that will develop. But right now, he's not good enough with his build-up, his link-up play, his movement off the ball is great. It's fairly obvious of what he's going to do.
There's no one to link up with. There's nobody in midfield to link up with.
I just feel like Diaz is a certain player, and he's fantastic at moments, but is he a player that can he make it to that next level? Can he be in a top 2 side, like wanting to win the league, Champions League? Is he that player? So it's hard to say at the moment.
Last year in the second half of the year, so we can't.
I'm on the fence with him at the moment. I don't know what Diaz is.
Well, you think Salah's a 4 out of 10? Most days do.
No.
I never said that. I don't
No. I can sort of see where you're going.
Do you know what I mean?
A little. I mean, not as harsh, but I think he's a really, really good player. But I feel like he is, when he's got space ahead of him, he's really good.
Yeah.
But then, is he gonna get? What I want to see him more is I want to see him in the middle of the. I want to see him in the 18-yard box more.
Yeah.
He's too wide for me all the time.
See what he can do.
And that was the same with Salah today. I'd love to see how many times Salah was actually in the box. The amount of times he just picked the ball up out wide, and then he just get crowded out. The left back was brilliant, by the way. He was really good.
It was his first game.
He was really good.
He was excellent.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Though? They actually played really well. To be fair to them, and I bet you their supporters are actually saying today. I don't think they had that in them. I don't think they probably surprised they even had that in them. To be fair,
well, because he dropped the players that didn't have it in him. That's why.
The biggest credit.
I wish we could do
destroyed
that.
their protest, didn't it? Because you can't have a really good protest if you win and you win really well.
The protest is about something totally different, isn't it?
Yeah,
Protest is about something totally different.
Yeah, but it's downplayed there, and that wasn't a little bit. It does.
The protest obviously hyped up the crowd, into a frenzy. It's.
Yeah, but on Monday night against Man United, the first 10-15 minutes, they're always going to go for it. Even if we were, how many times have we played them in the 90s or whatever, and even in the 2000s, and we're absolutely shit. We get behind them because we hate them and we're playing against them. The first 10-15 minutes was always going to be like that. All we had to really do, I know it sounds easy.
Weather the storm.
Even weather the storm, just keep the fucking ball. Honestly, but
how come? Because me and him are taxing each other as well. And just keep hold of the fucking ball. Like we were just passing way too quick when we shouldn't have, and it went straight. But we shouldn't get fucking bullied by that team.
We shouldn't. We got bullied by Fulham as well.
How did we got bullied?
We did get bullied. We got bullied immediately. Like the first 3 minutes, there was that tackle down on the right hand side, and they immediately got the Man United fans.
It's like whatever
bullied in that performance.
Whatever game plan Klopp had.
Boy, we just
none of those lads
stopped on the ball, mate.
We did.
None of them.
And we got bullied in Fulham game. And we got bullied in Palace game.
No,
when Nunes turned around and got sent off.
Can this shit?
We never got bullied.
You
can't say that. Liverpool have not won their 3 games because they've got bullied.
That's a big part.
Do you know what? That's a really. No, it's not. It's just a fucking. It's a fucking easy, boring. Not boring. It's just like a lazy. It's a lazy fucking comparison. It's fuck off. It is. It's a lazy comparison. It fucking is to say that we've just got bullied 3 games. No, we haven't. We've just been shit. We've been crap on the ball. We've missed some players. Do you know what I mean? You can't just say that we've been bullied.
We have been bullied.
So we got bullied against Palace.
Yeah, we
just couldn't fucking score because we're not good enough with the
we
ball.
got bullied against Fulham as well.
We're 70% of the fucking
all
possession.
three
Not being
games,
bullied, then, have we?
the intensity, which is part of it, has been lacking.
So that's not
We've
being
been
bullied, then, is
second
it?
to the second ball. Yeah, that is part
It's
of
not.
it. That
We've
is
been
part of
crap
it.
with the ball.
That
We've been
is
crap with it.
definitely part of it. And we've been dreadful these 3 games with that. Like I say, that team that we put out against Man United today should have beaten Manchester United. It should have happened. But it didn't, because their intensity levels were far higher from the off. Right? They were up for it, and we were slow. We couldn't win the second ball. Our passes were off. Man United were all over the place.
Yeah, but they've
Winning every ball.
had the absolute game in their life.
Yeah.
If we would have played, stupid comment this, but if we would have played 5 more minutes, we probably would have scored. We would have probably been 2 each. They were shit in themselves.
point.
That's not being bullied, though, is it?
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's
Yes,
that
it is.
we've made some absolutely stinking mistakes.
Yeah.
That making stinking mistakes is not being fucking bullied.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
It was. It was.
It's not.
That game.
So are you saying Trent's defending us because he was bullied?
Part of it.
It's not. It's because of effort and fucking using your loaf.
I thought we were bullied against Fulham. We weren't bullied against Palace. No chance, because we had more possession than them, and we had the chances to put them away. United, I wouldn't say bullied.
We had 70% possession.
We were just shit.
No, we did. Oh yeah, in this one, yeah.
We were just shit.
But
End of the day, we were shit.
And we outshot them.
But when you were shit because it happens for certain reasons. It happens internally
You're just making
from your
mistakes
own
in the wrong
performance.
places.
And it also happens
But if you're
because the
saying-
other team is making you become shit. But Manchester United played well, right?
They did play
Yeah,
really well.
but there's
They
a
played-
difference
I don't
between
think they
playing
played
well
bullied
and
and
getting
bullying.
bullied.
Yeah, playing well is like being quite good tactically and hitting.
Well,
hitting
depends
the
on
ball
where
out,
you grow up
finding
in
people
England.
out. No, it doesn't.
It does, yes. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I'm sure Julian was
I tell you what,
That makes a big difference.
as a kid.
I tell you what's being bullied.
I mean, but there was this one kid who
Yeah,
was
one,
a proper
just only
nut,
one.
yeah.
I tell you what's being bullied. Playing Bolton away,
His name
that's
was
being
Julie.
bullied. Bolton away or Stoke away, you're being bullied because you're playing against big fucking monsters. Today we weren't bullied by them. We were just crap.
Just played shit. So how does Klopp steady this shit?
Fucking sailors.
Because-
fucking
Well,
Because, you know, like
7 days. We got fucking how many days to stew on this shit? 5.
5, yeah, Bournemouth. Good segue there. I like that.
It wasn't even meant to be honest.
Yeah,
what's
no, that was
what's
good
the Neighbours repeat, the final episode? You'll feel better tomorrow. Kylie and Jason make a return, and especially for you comes on. It's a good moment.
Yeah.
You'll forget all of your worries, and you'll be golden.
I think I need
Glenn,
more. I think,
Glenn, that's what you need to do.
I think I need more than that.
Go to
honest with you.
YouTube, put on Prisoner Cell Blockade.
You know what you need
That's
to
what you
do?
need to do.
You need to get on Liverpool Connection podcast YouTube and watch Phil McNulty and Jim White.
Nice.
There you go. And it's really good. But yeah, we got Bournemouth and then Newcastle after that. So I'm actually glad we've got 2 games in the next.
Before I
7,
was
8
going to say
days.
before we do that, shall we speak a little bit about the weekend?
The Bournemouth.
About the weekend
about
just gone.
Leeds beating Chelsea.
yeah.
Leeds United.
3-0
Leeds
and
United.
then
at the Stadium,
Newcastle and City. Yeah, I mean, again, well, no, because those results.
Fuck it off then,
pissed
fuck it off.
me- Those results pissed me off even more because we
Fuck it off.
should have
then.
fucking
I was,
won.
I was just doing it for him because he's a closet Leeds fan now.
Could you
isn't he?
imagine the Chelsea connection
Leeds
podcast at the
United,
moment?
States of
Probably
America.
worse.
Hey, but I will, to try to bring it back to Liverpool, I would be
Have a
concerned
check.
if Liverpool played
Have a check.
Leeds.
Yeah, very good.
If Liverpool played Leeds the way Leeds buzzes around that field, we're not ready to play that.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, we-
On a serious note, I don't think we're ready. to
What?
Hold
play.
on.
We couldn't even.
Hold on,
Wait,
hold
wait,
on,
wait,
hold
wait,
on.
wait, wait,
Hold
wait,
on.
wait, wait,
You're
wait.
talking about
Hold on.
being bullied by
Hold on.
Manchester United, who hardly even ran today, right?
No, they did.
Come on,
He did. He did.
Man United ran
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
They did.
they did.
They did.
They don't run in numbers like Leeds does.
That front three did.
Tell us about Leeds. Go on.
I don't want to talk about Leeds. I'm just saying I'm concerned that our mentality is not ready to play that yet.
Well, we don't have to play Leeds for a
Don't
while,
worry
so
about
you're
it.
all right.
They'll drop off. though. Leeds, United States of America, I think.
Now say something. Okay.
All right,
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth on Saturday.
Hey, can I make an announcement though? So if anybody's here is in the
Well, it looks like you're ready.
hey, if anybody's here is in the Austin area,
Did you?
come down to the pub on Saturday.
Who's going?
We're gonna watch the Bournemouth game, and then the legend of Sammy Lee will be here watching the game with us, and then we're gonna have a
Fucking legend,
Legends
that is.
event. after that. So come on down to the pub here at BD Riley's, have a pint, and there'll be some raffle items. And so hopefully, if you're here in town or in the area, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, come on down and join us for that event.
Waco, don't forget about Waco.
Oh, Waco and Temple.
Yeah. Do you want to name every fucking city in Texas?
Bournemouth.
I'd rather Sammy Lee stayed in
Anyway,
Liverpool.
look.
He could probably do a job for us.
Look,
Yeah.
back to football. Bournemouth Saturday is, again, it's a must win. Home, I don't give a shit how we do it. Just fucking bring those 3 points. Like, I don't give a fuck what Arsenal are doing. Arsenal will cave in at some point. 5 points. I'm looking at 5 points behind City. But Bournemouth,
Worst team in the league. Best
yeah,
team
the
in the league.
worst team in the fucking league,
will
and
smash
we should be
Bournemouth.
smashing them.
So I'm gonna.
And everything will be rosy and good again.
I can't even predict a lineup.
No.
I don't know even who's gonna fucking show up.
I think I've got to think now that Liverpool are going to go on about 6, 7, 8 game run now, winning run. I don't know why, but I do. I feel like today it's got to be a moment. If it doesn't, I feel like Liverpool are going to go on a big run now. I don't. Today doesn't give me any reason why.
I love that we're gonna go in a big run.
I love
just
your
don't know why.
positivity. The last time you were positive though was about us smashing Man United, so I'm not sure how I feel.
The last three games against Manchester United was Liverpool 4, Man United 0, Liverpool 5, Man United 0, Liverpool 4, Man United 2.
That's
so my thing was that they did. Let's be honest. They did not have that performance in them. Everyone's surprised about the way they ran, the way they got after the ball, they were tactically really, really good. And Liverpool were diabolical.
Yeah.
So when you put the two together, it was a shocker, wasn't it? And to be honest with you, Liverpool, like near the end, it could have been a draw.
It could have been.
You know what I mean? With us being that diabolical and them being like their best performance in a long time.
And again,
the fact they only won 2-1 shows how far they have fallen at this point. And they're celebrating their win as they should.
No, they should do,
It's a big win for them, but it shows how far they have fallen away. But Bournemouth for the weekend, what do we think, prediction wise?
Just get the job done.
Team wise, it's difficult because obviously, we're recording this on Monday. On what day is it today? Monday. Christ, Monday night. So, but as team wise, I mean, it's difficult to say other than what we've got today, isn't it? Maybe Firmino might come in, maybe Costas might come. I don't know. Even Robertson, we haven't touched much on Robertson, but he doesn't seem.
They're all out of
so
whack.
maybe Costas might come in.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have 3 goalkeepers.
Same front three, maybe. Well, it's going to have to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to have to be. Maybe you could see Liverpool doing some sort of 4-2-3-1 when
You
you're
could
playing
see
against
Carvalho
Bournemouth.
maybe
don't think so?
getting a start.
You don't think so? See Liverpool doing like a 4-2-3-1.
I think, like you said earlier, Klopp is just so hesitant to change the structure of this team.
Yeah, he's done it before though. He's done it with like Shaqiri playing sometimes.
It is hard to say, like, this is Monday and who knows what injuries, cross our fingers that we don't, but who knows what's going to be. You would think Fabinho would start if he's fit.
No one all back two are going to be
knows?
Sepp Vandenberg and Joe Gomez. Yeah,
Maybe.
So Liverpool just 5-0.
5-0 from you.
Just because Bournemouth are crap. Yeah.
So weird the fucking
So Man United, but yeah, okay, 5-0 from you. What about you?
He's a weirdo, isn't he?
I'm not a weirdo, I just don't do it.
How about you, Julian?
Similar to Glenn. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think I'm going to go for the classic 87-88 score of 4-1 to us.
All right, I'll go 2-1 for the Reds.
I can't be a 2-1.
Just the win, please. Just 3 points. That's all I care about, and then get those on the board. Get up the table. See, again, everyone don't look at the league table right now. It's sad.
Who looks at the league table? Who's looking at the league table after 3 games?
I looked at it today.
Well, Arsenal fans.
I fucking cried.
Arsenal fans are.
Honestly,
if you ever looked at the league table, even when you're top, and go, "Oh, we're top after 3 games."
Gabby's like running around naked in his house.
Yeah, But I just, he was asked after 3 games to be.
Nah,
to be
no
fair.
one.
one's bothered,
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
But
I've not got a clue where we're at, and that's the honest truth. Because it's pointless at the moment.
Put a run together.
All I know is West Ham's at the bottom. They haven't even
The only
scored a
time
goal.
the league table was important. Do you remember the little little
Well,
poster
maybe-
that you had?
maybe.
It was Shoot magazine, and you got the little tabs, and you put the teams in every week. Do you remember that?
So-
He's,
so-
he's
That was
sneaking it in
golden.
again.
Wilson's got a book he was meant to give to somebody about 3
best
weeks
comment.
ago.
Did you decide on best comment?
Yes, I decided it's the one that called Darren the fat Spanish waiter. Remember that one?
No.
Actually, I just made that up. Actually, he asked if Dazza came to the pub on his bicycle with a baguette in the basket. So Wayne
Oh.
Turner.
No,
You're
don't
the-
give it to Wayne. I know Wayne.
I'm giving it to Wayne.
That's his
You
mate.
give it to Wayne? He's a Chelsea fan. Don't give it to Wayne.
That's his mate.
Yeah.
Well, what's he doing?
Oh, you can fuck
Give it
off.
to no. Don't.
Then
give
I'm
it
not giving it to Wayne
Give it to
then.
John.
Okay, I'm gonna extend the contest for another week.
Yeah, sorry, John.
hey,
you're
we're
not
not-
good
hey,
enough for
Wayne Turner,
for
I'm
Steve.
sorry.
I don't.
not getting
Well, I
it.
want to quote his comment that wins. I don't want to just
Wilson.
fucking
Yeah,
give
So
it
you
to
really,
somebody.
you want? I mean, it was up to you. This was your decision. So you
Oh,
want?
fuck
No,
off
no,
then.
no. You want to give it to Wayne Turner?
If he's a Chelsea fan, I'm not gonna give it to
Listen,
He's a
him.
Chelsea
listen.
fan.
Hey,
I need
we're not
that
giving
in
it away.
France.
He was
Hey,
in France.
we're not giving it away until Liverpool have actually won a game.
Okay, all right.
Intensity.
Intensity.
Here.
All right.
All right.
All right,
so-
sorry
so-
about that.
Subscribe.
yeah,
Vows.
please, after, I hope you subscribe after this. Anyways, yeah, please subscribe.